Hi, it's Heather. Um, Thought I'd show you a view I haven't really showed you guys yet. This is kind of the entry. This is what I see when I come home before I hit the front door. Um, so this was actually one of the first beds I started when we bought the house 14 years ago. Um, Really, only a couple of the plants survived. So the Annabelle hydrangea is fine. The uh, hydrangea paniculata down at the end there has morphed and had babies several times. Um, but so it's changed a lot. But the one thing I found that made the bed successful was instead of trying to use mulch and plan every single little minute detail of this area, and there's going to be people who don't like it, but it was really what I found worked the best was to just let plants fill in, especially fill in on their own. Um, the Brunera, I think I finally figured out. So these guys are Brunera, and this guy. Um, I love the flowers. They get in the fairly early spring. They get a nice forget-me-not type blue flower, which is really fantastic with the yellow plants that are in this bed. But the cool thing about this bed is a lot of the plants I didn't even buy. The Brunera seeds itself. And honestly, it is due for a big thinning because I would like to have a little bit more variety in here. Um, and I did start moving some things around. But, if you are on a budget, finding plants that, seed themselves well, so that they're like a filler plant. Um, we want to make sure we don't include plants, that are on invasive lists. But so one, it is financially a lot easier on the pocketbook to let things seed themselves a bit. And, it saves on mulch. It gets us more plants. And really, so what trees need is actually plants. Plants draw in all sorts of, insects and birds that, trees need to be around. Also, one thing I noticed when I started putting in shrubs, we have the two big oak trees and the little red bud starch here. But when you start using shrubs in your landscapes, appropriately, birds like bluebirds, who like to eat, they eat a lot of insects off the ground. Having shrubs gives them a place to perch out of harm's way while they're looking for lunch. Um, there's several things in here that will seed themselves. I just split some Japanese forest grass. And at the time of this recording, uh, Japanese forest grass is still okay to use. it doesn't seem to get too far out of control. So I did split one and move it, and so I got a free plant out of that. I always let my hostas go to seed, and that way, like Empress Wu is such a great hosta. She seeds herself all the time, but I'm not going to walk over to the parent plant. But I get babies off of Empress Wu all the time. The little variegated ones right there, that's Ginkgo Craig. He's a little dwarf hosta. And so Ginkgo Craig had babies, and so these guys don't have the variegation, but they're still nice little plants. I really like them. Ferns have babies. You can also split many ferns. So anyway, this is just a little spot that haven't showed you guys yet. And anyway, it's just changed a lot over the years, and in a way, kind of being a lazy gardener can save you a lot of money. If you're deadheading every single little thing, you're not going to get any free plants out of it. So I would say, let plants go to seed. Move them around, share them with other people. Now, granted, this is something too. We don't want to be going and selling these plants. Like, I will happily share Brunera with my customers because I think it is such a good plant around trees. The roots are very, very deep, so they don't compete with trees, and they do a really good job of protecting the soil. But, in order to sell plants for money, they need to be inspected by the DNR to make sure we're not spreading diseases. If it's like this one, I forget what that variegated, or, I'm not sure you call it variegated. This white Brunera, I think is Mr. Moon, maybe, or Frosted Glass, one of the two. And that's a registered plant. So, we don't want to be going and selling plants that, we don't own or pay for or right to use, kind of thing, like nurseries have to. So, but giving plants away, as long as they're not the invasive thing. I know in Bloomington, up to a certain point, a lot of people were giving away Japanese knotgrass. There's probably still some people doing it. Oh my God. Don't give away burning bushes, anything on the invasive list. But at the same time, if you do have some plants that are working for you well in the garden, don't miss the opportunity to get yourself some free plants, and just let them go to seed. I know these, my mom gave me her, I forget if that Huchura is Limelight or something else. Chartreuse, maybe, the name of it. And she just couldn't get it to grow well where she was at. I think it had too much sun. And I have split these so many times. So that's a really nice way to, keep the plants healthy, but also to get yourself some free plants, or share them with your friends. So, yeah, and even lilies. Lilies need to be maintained. These guys have already bloomed, so they got to get their foliage pulled. But you know, they will protect the soil as long as they're properly planted and they're not too close to a tree. Um, you know, it's they provide more habitat than mulch would. So I guess maybe that's what this video should get called today, is more plants, less mulch. And that is what I'm always telling people. So use your leaves for mulch, let your stems stay in the fall, and you can get lots of plants. And then that will like give you, you know, some spending money, you know, so you don't have to buy all of your plants, so you can add some cool plants from the nursery. So anyway, yeah, if you have any questions about gardening, gardening on the cheap, questions about trees, whatever, just like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you're thinking. You know, gardens are important, and they're going to be more important. So anyway, thanks. Have a great day. Bye.